What's up, you guys? This is Robert at Shy Bears Plus. Please follow me on Twitter at Shy Bears Plus, also on Instagram. You've already found us here on YouTube, Shy Bears Plus. Make sure you subscribe, slap the bell. You don't want to miss any of the videos. I have along with me today Jeff, who is on Twitter at plus_shy. Say hello to the folks, Jeff.
Hello, folks.
Very good. So today, we're jumping right into it like we always do, not wasting a lot of time. We try to keep them short for your viewing pleasure. We are previewing the Chicago Bears at Arizona Cardinals afternoon game, 3 o'clock, 3:15, 3:30, whatever it happens to be. That's in Phoenix. The Bears are 1-1, and the Arizona Cardinals are 0-2 going into this game. Couldn't be more excited. It's time for the Bears to stack some wins. I want to go ahead with my stat of the game. Are you ready for that, Jeff?
Yeah, bring it.
Cool. I couldn't even just pick one. I couldn't do it. So, my stats of the game were the Cardinals were last in yards per game with 175, last in points per game with 6, and last in time of possession with 23:52, which bodes very well for the beloved Chicago Bears. What do you think?
Yes.
What do you got?
Yeah, all right. So, Bears have scored a defensive touchdown in the last 2 games. Will they make it 3? They lead the NFL in defensive touchdowns right now. Mitch is 8th in the NFL in completion percentages at 69.6. He's actually beating Aaron Rodgers, who's at 69.4. Okay. Now, a lot of talk this week was about his average yards per completion or attempt. I can't remember. I apologize. But, yes, he's near the bottom of the NFL, but Andrew Luck is just above him at 5.93, where Mitch is at 5.38. My last stat of the week is Danny Trevathan was the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He led the Bears' defense with 6 tackles and 2 sacks, had a huge forced fumble there. So those are my 3 stats of the week.
Oh, very good. We are going to name that Stats of the Week going forward because it seems like we always bring it for you guys at home, listening on your mobile, on your computer, transitioning over to what to watch for. I'm going to go through a couple things to watch for in this game, and Jeff is going to follow through. So, Trubisky Plus. I feel like this game is an opportunity for the Bears to build a little confidence with Mitch Trubisky. Maybe throw down the field a little bit more, take some more chances. It's a game where we're not playing a rival. There's less pressure. It's not the first 2 games we're playing a Sunday and a Monday night game. So afternoon game, with less pressure. You don't have all the media attention. We've already got perfected 2 weeks of plays in the scripted playbook. We're building on that. And you have a lot more room for error to go ahead and make those shots because the Cardinals' offense has been anemic. My next what to watch for is Trubisky minus. So much of the season and how well we win by or lose, I guess they lose, is going to be dependent upon Trubisky. The Cardinals do like to blitz a lot. One of, I feel like, the biggest weaknesses of Mitch Trubisky so far this year has been his inability, when he gets sacked, to identify the sack, identify his hot reads, and get the ball out quickly when there's pressure in his face. And I think that it's going to be very difficult for him if they keep bringing the pressure and get exotic with it. Sometimes I feel like I'm getting a little repetitive with that from the previous videos, but prove it to me, kid. Like I'm the biggest Mitch apologist there is, but I'm not telling you he's going to be a great quarterback. I want to see the growth myself. So I do apologize. I'm a wait-and-see guy, but I'm not going to say, dude, he's great already. He's going to be great, because I don't know. I want to see it on film. But if you can't identify the blitz, it's going to be a long afternoon, and it's not going to be fun. So, also, next, Burton. I think he's going to catch 80-plus yards and a touchdown. I think that there's going to be opportunities for someone else has to step up. Because someone's going to Peterson Island, and they're going to have a long day. And I think this is going to be the Burton breakout game. Just a feeling. Playing a 4-3 defense. You're going to have less linebackers on the field, less athletic. So I think that this is going to be your opportunity for Burton to split some seams make some big plays. And finally, Rosen sighting. Will the Bears knock Bradford out of the game, and will we see the rookie Rosen? Jeff, what were you looking to watch for?
Yeah, last week the Bears, there was a conception out there that the Bears offensive line was unable to get the run started. Okay, so what to watch for first off is will the Bears offensive line be more dominant in the first and second quarter? Okay. Now, last week we had a few injuries on the Seattle defensive front, and the Bears averaged a pretty decent amount of yards per attempt, but it wasn't as dominant as they would like to, and it really forced Matt Nagy's hand to throw the ball, I believe, more often than he wanted to, but that shows a little bit of Matt Nagy. He's willing to do what the defense gives him. If the defense was taking away the run, he even though he had the training wheels a little bit on Mitch, he took him off a little bit with a couple deep routes to Robinson and Gabriel, but all those hitches was a real training wheel offense. Take what the defense would get, march it down the field, score that way. Leonard Floyd, number 94, is supposedly going to be castless for the first game of the regular season. Okay, so he's always been playing with it. People have been talking about how he's unable to produce as well as he should with that cast on. So let's look for him not wearing the club. And then lastly is Roquan Smith versus David Johnson. Recently, I spoke about Roquan being that running back eraser in the middle of the field, even though he'll drop back in coverage if they go short underneath to that tight end or to that running back in that dump-off pass. Roquan is right there to erase him, and as well Danny Trevathan. But look out for Roquan Smith. I think really having his first statement game of his NFL career.
I really like your points there, Jeff. And one that I really do like is you touched on where you have to take those shots down the field. If the Bears and Trubisky do not want to take those shots, this is going to turn into 2017 pretty quickly. If they stack the box and keep bringing the pressure, without the fear of the deep ball, whether you complete them or not, give me a 35-yard PI, and move the darn chains. Like, let's go. But I do not want to see 9 dudes in the box again and then us trying to run into it. I don't want to get into that, and I think that was the whole reason we brought Nagy here. So I'm glad that you're on board. Let's keep taking the shots. And you know what? If you take the shot at the 45 on their side, if we can go for a touchdown, and they intercept it at the 2, well, now they're at the 2. And now it's just effective as a punt as if maybe you didn't move the ball anyway. That's where I want to see the shots. When you cross the 50, you get second and short, see a little play action, something like that. Keep them guessing, and we got to throw the ball down the field. Man, I sure know how to stretch these videos out, even though I try not to. Moving on to Bears victory pluses. I'm going to go ahead and start with get ahead, stay ahead, keep this pass rush on the field, let them pin their ears back, and let's go Mac, Goldman, Bullard, Roy Robertson, Harris, Leonard Floyd. Let's get to Bradford. Let's knock him out of this game. I don't know if actually that's the best thing in the world to do, but I want to keep them after it. We had a lot of success with getting ahead and staying ahead and not having and making teams one-dimensional, playing catch-up, and that's a position that I want to be in. That's what I feel like the whole pace plan was. Let's get a team that can score some points, move the ball down the field, get ahead. I'm going to load up with a great defensive line, pretty good secondary, and linebackers, and have some speed in the middle, built strong up the middle, and we're going to get after people. Get ahead and pin your ears back. And things are moving in that direction, and it looks great, but we need to get ahead. So another long opening drive. Let's go get on them and get them on their heels. Point number 2, run the dang ball. That's right, I put dang. It's a family show. Give me Howard with 20 rushes. Find a way to make it happen. I still want shots too. You got to mix it all up. You got to have some balance. But if this team is going to have a time of possession against us of 23 minutes, there's going to be plenty of opportunities for the Bears to pass and throw the ball. Lots of attempts and plays on offense. Cohen, at least 5 carries. I want to see Cohen get more involved in this offense. And I would love to see him running slots or being the slot guy in an RPO situation. Or even when I'd like to see Cohen, Howard, and Gabriel all in the field at the same time, where you could run a play action, you could run the jet sweep, bring those linebackers in, maybe sneak Cohen in behind him, get him in space in the middle of the field. He is so hard to bring down. So those are things that I am looking for. The final thing that I want to say the Bears victory plus is if other receivers step up this week. Trubisky has built rapport with A-Rob. You already seen it, where he had 9 or 10 catches last week. I want to see that same thing with a Burton type. Get Miller involved, Gabriel. I think those would be my big 3 where I feel like they're going to get the share of the snaps. But let's see Mitch spread the ball out a little bit. I think there's opportunities to do it. And if we do all of those things, I think we're looking at a Bears victory Monday. What say you, Jeff, at +_shy?
Yes, my Bears victory pluses include the defense maintaining the status quo. Defense doesn't need to do anything differently.
Okay.
All right, just keep playing the way you're playing. Everything will work out for the best. I'll say this until the cows come home.
We got cows down on the show?
Don't
in the Shy Bears
turn
Plus
the ball
studio.
over.
Don't turn it over.
Don't turn that ball over.
Yep.
Okay? The Bears will win if they do not turn the ball over. As long as Mitchell Trubisky has been true to himself, he has as many touchdowns as interceptions. That's a very good ratio for a player that has less than 16 games started in the NFL. Don't fumble the ball. Don't do anything dumb on special teams. Keep the turnover possession or battle in our favor. That's almost a guaranteed victory in itself. And lastly, Bears victory plus just the advantage of Bears coaching staff over this Arizona coaching staff. I'm not too enamored with their coaching staff. We see that they're unable to move the football, even though they do have some playmakers on the offensive side. You and I talked about earlier this week that there is talent on the defensive line and on that defensive side, but they're not putting it together during the game. So I think the Bears have the ability, just by their coaching staff, to win the game.
And continuing off of that, the Bears defense is far above the Bears offense, right? And that's because they've been together. They have the cohesion. Well, Arizona just brought in a new regime, different philosophies, and that's going to be one of the reasons that there's so much talent on defense, that they're not gelling together. Everyone doesn't maybe know their responsibilities, and maybe they're thinking they're not playing fast enough. So which is why our offense is trying to catch up, and our defense is already coming out the gates, bear down and just getting after their quarterbacks and pretty much stopping everything. So yeah, great points, man. I love you always bring it, kid. I love it. Cardinal victory pluses from Robert at Shy Bears Plus. If I were the Cardinals, this is my game plan on how I would try to beat the Bears. Not saying that they can, not saying that they can't, but this is where I would kind of come after them. I would pressure Trubisky every down. I would have guys coming from everywhere. This is essentially a second rookie year for Trubisky. I keep saying it. And he has not done well with the exotic blitzes and identifying the hot read and getting the ball out quickly, kind of chopping the feet, standing straight up, looking around, and then getting out of there right away. I mean, everybody does it. Even Mahomes had a situation where he kind of got had a little pressure. If he just had a little bit of poise, he wouldn't have ran into his tackle and got sacked last week. Everyone's doing it. But I want to make Trubisky, make him make decisions, make him make quick decisions, get the ball off, be on time, and move the chains. Bears, if the Bears don't have Patrick Peterson a lot, they're going to lose. Patrick Peterson's going to get the ball. 35.5 coverage snaps per reception for Peterson this year. So that's half of a game when you think about it, right? Was it about 60 snaps on defense sometimes? So
yeah,
a catch every half of the game. Don't go there. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. There's no need to it. You have so many other options. Whoever he's up on, just go somewhere else with the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you stack this team up so you're not one-dimensional. I would spread the Bears out, and I would take all of the underneath stuff against our cover 3 zone all day. And if we're up in man, I would have Christian Kirk running drags. I would have Fitzgerald running drags out of the slot on the outside. Keep everything underneath. Take what you can get. Do not sit back in the pocket and wait for this Bears rush to come and get you. We saw Seattle do it in the 2-minute drill. We saw Aaron Rodgers do it in the 2-minute drill. They moved the ball on us. We were only rushing 3 at some of those times, but if you spread them out, run forward wide, I think that you can move the ball on this Bears team because I don't think that they're just going to be overly aggressive and start blitzing and trying to take it out of the quarterback's hands. So that's, if I were not the Bears, I would say, hey, spread them out. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can maybe keep them in nickel situation. Maybe you see Les Goldman in that situation. Maybe you could run the ball, draws, read options, even power plays out of shotgun. You can run any running play out of the shotgun. It doesn't matter. And also, the Bears are short a cornerback. So put them in nickel and dime situations. McManus in the corner. That's a guy they want, especially for special teams. Make them put these people on the field that the Bears maybe don't want to put on the field. I would test Fuller deep. It's been 2 weeks in a row that Fuller's got burned deep for a touchdown. Take the top off. So I would take that every time I see that single high or in a man situation, or if we run a cover 2. I'm throwing the ball deep and taking my shot there. Everything else would be underneath. And I would give David Johnson 30 carries because you have to be able to possess the football, and you cannot put your defense out there for 37 minutes a game. You just can't do it. They're going to wear down. You want to what? I didn't watch full tape. I watched the highlights of that last game, and I saw a defensive line with high pad levels, not getting after it. They look like they're exhausted, and they look like they quit. So, every time your offense goes 3 and out, you run back out there, and you're huffing gas, huffing air. You're going to want to quit. That's one of the things that's made the Bears so good this year on defense is that the Bears, I feel, have possessed the ball, and they're not putting them in position with 3 and outs every single time like we have in the past. And we got fresh legs going out there, at least last week, not the first week. We did have some guys who maybe weren't up to football speed yet. But I would give David Johnson 30 carries. I'd run at Leonard Floyd if he's on the field, make him use that hand to disengage without the club. I would run power at him, and I would run sweeps because I don't want to mess with the interior of the Bears defense. There's no way. I'm not running up the middle on this team. I'm not running at Hicks. I'm not running at Mack. I'm not running at Goldman. I'm just not doing it. I'm getting the ball outside, get it to the edge, and seeing if Leonard Floyd can set the edge and play with that hand. I assume that we are going to see Lynch still on first and second down a lot. They'll mix it up quite a bit for that very reason. But when you see him, I would go at him. If you see Kwiatkowski in the defense, I am audibling to run slants, ins, outs, anything you can that's underneath that's effective that you feel confident in with your tight ends or out of your slot position, and I would go after him. And that would be my recipe for trying to have a chance to beat the Chicago Bears this Sunday. Jeff, what are your Cardinal victory pluses, unless you want to tell me how great those were?
Well, I just want to make sure you're done. You don't have any more?
No, we're good. Finally. Sorry, I put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah, apparently. Okay, so the Arizona Cardinals victory pluses include play Josh Rosen. Simple as that.
Wow.
The Cardinals' best chance of winning is with Josh Rosen behind center. Nobody else on that team can play quarterback. Put him out there. You see all these first-rounders, Mayfield, Darnold, even Allen, they're getting reps early on, and they're succeeding. So put them out there. I don't know why they wouldn't. Just the only reason why I'd say is not to have them get knocked out of the game by the Bears. Fear ferocious front seven. Okay, David Johnson goes off, kind of about what you said with the 30 carries. Mm-hmm. Well, 30 touches. This is a guy that has claimed he wanted to have 1,000 rushing yards this year and 1,000 receiving yards. And he was poised to do it last year before he broke his hand. So how are they going to diversify David Johnson in the running and the passing game? And then lastly, the Arizona victory plus will be, can they score other than on offense? Will they get a pick six, a forced fumble return? Will they return a touchdown? Will they be able to get something? The Bears have been receiving the ball inside their own 5 on a couple punts with Miller and Cohen. Can they force a bad decision and get a turnover, score the ball, or have a real short field where it's easier for this anemic Cardinal offense to score. That's my last Arizona victory plus.
A lot of the young quarterbacks are having success already. I thought Baker Mayfield was the best quarterback coming out. I know this isn't a draft video. By far, just with that laser fast release, he just gets the ball out. He makes reads, and he's so athletic, and he's almost unsackable. So all those different things, I just thought that he was a A++ talent. He had some questionable character things that happened in college, and the only reason he wasn't number one overall. And then I liked Rosen third overall. Was he number one overall? My mistake. Bad memory. But I love me some Baker Mayfield. I don't like Rosen, and hopefully we get some shots of him on the sideline. There's something about him. He's got like a little bit of Cutler face to him. And that's not to say about his game, but there's something about like he's got this like cocky smugness to him. I don't know about the moping and all that stuff, but I kept on hearing him talking. I'm going, what? Kind of Cutlery.
Yeah. The number one talking point about the Arizona Cardinals offense this week was seeing Josh Rosen yawning on the sideline.
I missed that. That's great. I'm so not surprised. This was not pre-planned. We didn't talk about this in the pre-show, just to be honest. So, man, we went through how the Bears could win, how Arizona could win, what to watch for. There's only one thing to do, and it's whiteboard time. Jeff, why don't you start us off with what's going to happen with the game on Sunday?
Yeah, my BU-sponsored whiteboard prediction part of the show. Bears, run away with it. It's as easy as that. The offensive line is dominant, allowing Mitchell Trubisky to stand back in the pocket and deliver lasers, or run the ball at will with Jordan Howard. You might see a Jordan Howard 21 to 22 carry day, 110 yards, touchdown. He's going to break off a few long ones. The defense is going to stand pat, going to be dominant as always. All right. There's no way this offensive line, the right tackle for the Arizona Cardinals is out for this week. It reminds me of like a John Kruk game going against Randy Johnson, and John Kruk has a cold for that game. Okay. If I was going up against Khalil Mack, my ankle might be hurting. I might be out for that. That's why this week the Bears run away with it. Same prediction as last week. I was going to be close. 30-10. BU, baby. Let's go Bear down.
BU. At +_shy Jeff is always being him. That's for sure. You can't deny it. So I was psyching myself out seeing the talent on this team. Buda Baker, Peterson, Chandler. I really like Christian Kirk coming out of college. Every time that guy touched the ball, it seemed like he was going for a touchdown, whether it be a punt or a run or a reverse or a catch, slant, off a screen. I mean, he was just so electric, and so just a guy who was comfortable with the ball in his hands. Fitzgerald, Bradford is a guy who's efficient but not great. And I was psyching myself out, and I didn't think the Bears could really lose. I don't feel like this is a situation for a trap game or anything like that. However, there's just been a lot of things with the Bears offense not being ready to go. They haven't been putting up 30 points a game. They've been scoring in the teens. So I'm trying to be honest and realistic about it. Also, I can't guarantee a touchdown by the defense every single week. So I tampered my expectations a little bit on the Bears score. And the NFL teams don't lose in blowouts every single week. Even when the Browns were bad and they're going 0-16, they're not losing 40-0. Teams make adjustments. These are NFL players, NFL coaches getting NFL paychecks. So that being said, I'm like putting a huge disclaimer on why my score isn't as big as yours. But I got the Bears at 23 and the Cardinals at 9 at Shy Bears Plus. So we got it all in there. Robert at Shy Bears Plus.
Yeah.
23-9. Maybe 3 touchdowns. Maybe we see a short field or two from Mitch making some mistakes. I feel like this is a great opportunity to be more aggressive. They're not going to move the ball down the field on us as long as we play a nice tight defense. So we might get some field goals out there. Maybe they get a long return. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they fake a punt. Maybe they get creative to try to get something going if they're in that situation where you're going to see something where they get a couple of field goals, maybe a field goal and a touchdown. But 23-9, that's Robert at Shy Bears Plus' prediction. Did you know that you could follow Robert at Shy Bears Plus on Twitter and on Instagram? And you're already watching here, so subscribe. Smack that bell. You don't want to miss any of this content because it is the best on YouTube. So, this is Robert at Shy Bears Plus. Thank you for coming with us. Do you want to just give yourself a little plug here before we sign out?
Yeah, buddy. I'm Jeff. Follow me on Twitter at +_shy. Looking forward to the Bears victory Monday. We'll give you some content post-game early next week. And then stay tuned for Jeff's Best Bets. I'm already 1-0 this week. You're probably cashing in already. So stay tuned for next week. You got anything else for us, buddy?
That's it. Take me home.
That's all she wrote.